RE/MAX closed more transactions.
Hi, I'm Taven.
I'm Andy.
And we're with RE/MAX Elite. We get a lot of questions through our Twitter feed, social media outlets, and even just people sometimes sending us emails through our websites or making phone calls to us just to ask us what's going on in the market. And here's a huge question that I get asked very frequently. I know you hear it all the time. Are we headed for a crash in the real estate market in Nashville? What do you think, Andy?
Well, I think crash is one of those, media hyped. It gives a negative connotation because of, it's a crash. What happens in a crash, the great crash, all those things that go on. And I think there's market corrections. I think it's one of those that we do have low inventory. We have low inventory and buyers that are moving in. I've heard the numbers. Everybody said, 70 to 100 people a day moving into the Nashville area. They have to have a place to live, and we don't have inventory right now. So I think even if there is a market correction, nationwide, I think the Nashville area is going to be slower to correct, if you will, just because of the demand that's out there. Economic principles of supply and demand are always in effect. If we have one house and 10 people looking to buy that house, the price is going to be higher because somebody's going to bid the price up. Now, vice versa, if there's 10 houses and only one person looking for it, those concessions are going to come in, at that point in time. And there are pockets in the market that have more houses than buyers. In certain places. So it's kind of one of those, it's geographically specific to just neighborhoods and streets and what's going on and pricing of, of the houses. If they're priced too high, there's going to be corrections. The market will demand and say, I'm not going to pay that price for that house. And if that's said over and over again, there's going to have to be some adjustment done on it. So I think more correction than crash, and I still think, we're not right on top of it because there's still too much demand at this point in time for housing that we don't have at this point in time. Good quality, workforce housing and just housing in general. We don't have it, that's out there. What are your thoughts?
I think that you're right. We're driven by supply and demand. I think you're absolutely right about that. And I really feel that if we do see a market correction, I don't think it's going to be this big crash and burn. The 2008, there were lots of other things that were going on outside of just what was going on in the real estate market.
Well, but even in the 2008 crash, if you look back at the numbers, I think the numbers are about a 10 to 11%, adjustment. Yeah. So I know there were some big swings in some sectors in some areas, but really, a 10% adjustment, that's not huge, when it comes to that. And at that point in time, that's when you've got investors that come in that are buying, properties that are there, and doing some things in the market that need to be cleaned up and corrected at that point.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's basically what I was going to say. I completely agree with you.
Well, I stepped all over your comment then.
That's okay. So, in short, we both agree. As far as a big giant crash and burn into the world market correction, we don't really see it. Anything can happen. More than likely, especially in the Nashville area, we would just kind of see it playing out a little bit.
Well, and I think we've been steady over time. So it's one of those, I think some correction, will happen and then some growth in other areas that maybe we didn't expect and that kind of stuff. Look at the downtown urban growth that's happened. When I first got into the business way many years ago, everybody was moving out of the city into the suburbs and into the other counties and the surrounding areas. Now people are moving back into the city. We're building high-rise condos and townhouses and houses that are in the urban core, from that side. So I think there's always going to be opportunity and places to go in the market. It's just paying attention to what those things are.
Completely agree.
Well, I'm Andy.
And I'm Taven.
And we're with RE/MAX Elite.
Thanks for watching. Post any comments or questions below.
It's
up here.
It may be up there.
Either one.
Yeah.
Post comments or questions. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.